the vote today. Town, yes, 1,340. No, 1,308. Board of Ed, 1,315. No, 1,327. See you in 2 weeks.
Mary, you have vote totals?
I do.
Okay, so we'll put those in this, and we have to discuss Board of Education budget. So we need to propose a reduction, and then next Wednesday we'll have a public hearing, and then 2 weeks we'll have a referendum, round 2. So who would like to start the?
Is she going to read the totals?
No, she hasn't. Thoughts? Reduction? We have to choose a number, anywhere between a little and a lot.
Well, I think there's a couple strategies. Is one, you can look at the variance, whether or not it was a landslide or not a landslide. And then I think that there are, a couple targets that, we've heard about with Board of Ed, and it, we hear about surpluses, and then we heard about business managers, so. But I guess because, I look at the totals, so I think we err on the lower side of whatever numbers we had in mind.
So do you have a feel for an amount? Like, would you want to cut enough money that's equivalent to a full-time position, or something more, something less?
Yeah, I mean, I would think that, if you want to address some of the business manager comments, then you can, go for the amount that is equal to whatever that position was, which was, I think, around 100,000.
It's more.
124 or something.
10, it's actually looking like.
110,000.
Or we can look at capital.
The DOE capital.
What is that amount?
What is the capital? Well, I mean, again, I think the strategy is that we just give the Board of Ed a number, right? And we're not telling what they're gonna cut. That's up to them. But
No, it's Board of Ed, we give a number. Town, we can cut line. Board of Ed, we can make a recommendation, but they get a lump sum.
Yep.
Leah, thoughts? Nathan?
Oh, capital, somebody was going to give me, we were talking about cutting capital.
well, I have the original one, but then that was cut in half, so I think it was about 200.
No.
Yeah, I got it right here.
There should be something, one be right, the final one on the right, at the
Capital.
bottom.
Is 370.
I think that's about right.
Right.
Isn't that right, Jack? 372?
That makes sense, I just.
It was one of the lowest ones they ever had.
Yeah.
So if you combine those numbers, that gets us to 480. I'd like to make a comment about the opinion of the landslide or not a landslide. Historically, I have all the stats for the past, since 2010 of the votes in Clinton, and this town is cut right down the middle. These votes, all of these votes historically are passing by 20, 30, 40 votes, 10, 3 sometimes. So this was not representation of what normally happens. This was completely normal, within the norm. Actually, the total votes were a little bit on the low side, but as far as, I don't think this is a mandate to look at the numbers opposed or for. I think it's just a mandate for no, like the way the democracy works, whether it's a school or whatever. It doesn't matter. That's this town is.
Okay, do you have a figure?
No, I'm just making a comment on the landslide.
I wouldn't call it a landslide at all. Over 9,000 votes.
6 of them didn't vote for the Board of Ed.
Let
They
me,
voted for the town, so there's half of the 6, half the 12 that didn't vote. I mean, that got defeated.
voted for one.
6 people didn't bother voting at all.
and the burden is really on our shoulders, because less than 28% of the voters voted in this, so we have to speak for them. We've asked for the 80% that didn't cast a vote.
That don't care enough to come out.
I would make the comment that people that didn't turn out didn't care one way or the other, whether it was on one side or the other. And I think that the vote is the vote. It changes from year to year. And I would go along with what Val has recommended. I think that is a substantial cut going forward.
I sort of concur with that myself.
110?
I would say, I would agree to just the 110 thing. I mean, it was already cut 200,000 by the Board of Selectmen. And,
I mean, one special ed tuition, you know, I mean,
That's right.
can cost a lot of money. 2 could cost a great deal of money. So, I mean, I don't like cutting it to the point where there's no surplus. There needs to be some wiggle room for unexpected costs. And we need, it's been forever and a day that the Board of Ed has come back for special appropriation, unlike the town that comes for special appropriations all year long.
Their surplus has been extraordinary for the past 3 years.
3 years.
Extraordinary.
I don't disagree.
but that's
with
good
that.
on their part.
Yeah, no, but that's why they don't come
That means
back to us.
they're
They
working.
have, you know, they
He
use
tries to
it
get the
for
health
capital at the
plans,
end of
he
the
tries to
year.
get things going, I mean,
So their budget's
that's
working.
what we wanted to do.
Well,
We
it's,
don't want them to
I mean,
come
it's
in
the
and-
reasoning of why they're not coming, the town budget's much tighter. Unexpected things.
Yes, it
They are,
is.
you know, they have one more year of high special ed students, and then they're gonna be losing about 6 or 8 of those special ed students in the next 12 months.
But how many more will we get?
We're not gonna get, it was an extraordinary explosion one year. The statistics, mathematically looking at it, it was extraordinary, 1992, this birth rate of these people. You're not gonna get that again. According to, if you look at mathematical modeling, it was extraordinary.
Are you suggesting more of a cut then?
Well, you know, I had heard 370 plus 110, 480.
Yeah, but that's cutting 100% of their capital.
No, you can't cut
I
the
don't
capital
think
with
we can do
bone.
that.
370 is the total
No,
appropriation.
you're talking the Board of Ed, you just give them a number. We're not talking capital.
Yeah, I think-
Where would
You
you,
want
where
to
else
cut
would
them
it come from?
472,000, is that what you want to cut?
They're asking for 1.1 million more than last year.
I'd like to make a comment on the surpluses, that they've come back to the town budget and then are reallocated, either in capital improvements or in other functions. So I think the point is moot.
Well, they use those budgets for their own capital projects for giving it back to the town.
Which then reduces the capital.
No, it's good. I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just correcting the statement, that it's not all just turned over to the town.
Mr. Farmer?
I'd like to ask the superintendent, in Pearson, for example, is the number of students higher this year than it was in the past in terms of special ed children? Do you remember offhand? I don't have the, I can look to see the difference in that one school, but I'm not sure how that I'm one
Uh,
school makes a I'm difference. just concerned that we're not giving enough credence to that piece. And we don't want to cut too much here. We think we need more money for special ed kids.
Well, we budgeted for what we're projecting for next year, based on the information, the best information we have right now. So, I mean, to Mr. Sullivan's point, we could have a student or two that leave in the course of the year. We could have a student or two that come into the district over the course of the year. It has happened both ways. In every single year, we have some influx and ebb and flow. We've been able to manage that pretty well. We have done more and more in-house, which helps alleviate the extraordinary cost of out-of-district placements. I think we're down to 17 students out of district. And we continue to work on bringing students back and developing programs in-house, which ultimately cost less and give us greater flexibility when kids come and go. I don't know if that completely answers your question, except that that is a variable that we can't count on one way or the other.
Right. I think that's to my point.
Right.
But
Okay,
I don't want to cut too much. is my point.
right, I understand.
Are you happy with the 110 cut, Bruce?
Yeah.
I make a motion that, how do you say, just cut it?
Yeah, we reduced.
That the Board of Finance recommends a cut in the Board of Education budget of $110,000.
I'll second.
So it would be, check my number, $32,321,098.
What, 91?
98.
Brad, have you officially seated me for the vote?
No, no, we,
We have.
Mr. Farmer received it. I had 32 million.
You're basing on the full total.
Right, should I take it off the 30?
No, it's fine, before I started subtracting, I wasn't sure where you were coming, which one you were coming from.
Do you remember again? 32?
I just did a total. I mean, the actual Board of Ed number would be the 31,393, 426.
32,321,098.
Right, so operating would be 31,283, 426. Debt redemption, 667,222. Capital, 370, 450. For a total of 32,321, 098. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, so we will have a public hearing next Wednesday. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.